Ever stumble upon a game that's way better than it has any right to be? Robocop vs. the Terminator for the Sega Master System is one of the most graphically impressive, ambitious, and frankly surprising 8-bit Sega games that I've ever seen. It is a damn ambitious game. It has smooth animation and detailed graphics that the NES could never pull off, with digitized speech and bangin' 8-bit music.
You're terminated.
The graphics have a movie aesthetic, cyberpunk blues and purples with dithering that looks great on a CRT TV. It all just comes across with a slight synthwave vibe. You play as Robocop, as you should, but unlike Data Eat's take on Robocop, you actually have a spring in your step. Unlike some games where he walks like a tank, this Robocop actually moves. Maybe OCP gave him a WD-40 upgrade for this mission. An action game through and through, and you control Robocop as you blow away a mild variety of thugs and Terminator hordes from the future. Remember Robocop's prime directives? Serve the public trust, protect the innocent, uphold the law, and apparently exterminate all Schwarzenegger lookalikes from the future. Primarily, it's a Euro platformer, which means it has big verticality on massive levels and paths that have you going all around. For some reason, on Euro platformers, the jumping physics is a little wonky and it always feels like you're going to fall through the platforms while jumping. I don't know why it is a prerequisite of Euro platformers, but they all seem to have it. You can collect various power-up weapons, and some stages have you rescue hostages that are just standing there, tied up like a passive sack of potatoes. Now, Robocop can take a beating, and there's a power meter for your health, and staying true to the movie's lore, Robocop eats baby food, and the jars of baby food are just what you need after you take some damage from enemy bullets. Delicious and nutritious for cyborg cops, apparently. Getting my hands on this gem wasn't easy. My friend Dave in Japan sells games, and I picked up some Sega Master System games of his. He's in Japan now, but he's originally a New Zealander, and being a Kiwi, he is down for some more eclectic 8-bit Sega games since New Zealand actually enjoyed the Sega Master System and treated it with respect, unlike North America. The plot is actually pretty light, but there's hardcore cyberpunk elements to it. The premise involves Robocop's tech being used in the founding of Skynet. Despite having 2 licensed movie franchises and its name is not actually based on a movie property, but rather a comic book from 1992. It was published by Dark Horse Comics, but it was penned by none other than Frank Miller, but drawn by Walt Simonson. Sadly, despite the premise being awesome, it is out of print and copies of it go for $100. I would greatly enjoy the privilege of buying a digital copy. I'll buy that for $1. The game is an original arcade-style action game made by Virgin Games, and the engine was by Dave Perry of Earthworm Jim fame in Disney's Aladdin for Genesis Mega Drive. First, they made a Super Nintendo version. Then they made the Sega 8-bit version with the Game Gear version and a Master System version. The Master System game only came out in Europe but supported 60Hz NTSC TVs just fine. Then they later made a Genesis Mega Drive version and finally a Game Boy version. So we received the Super Nintendo version in the US, the Sega Genesis game, as well as the Game Gear version. Despite most people assuming that the Game Gear and Master System are interchangeable, there actually is an increased resolution and visible screen real estate on the Master System, making it much more fun to play on a CRT TV. The Master System version only came out in Europe, and that's a damn shame because it has Sega 8-bit flavor that's just so incredibly good. The 16-bit versions have more graphic detail, but when the game developers have less to work with, they are more impressive with what they can pull off. They squeezed every last drop of performance out of the Sega Master System here. So it is absolutely worth playing in emulation, playing it on an FPGA console, playing it on an EverDrive on original Sega hardware, or if you're a true 8-bit Sega madman, getting it on cartridge. One of these days, I'm going to get back to making longer videos, but for now, I want to keep highlighting gems like this that you might have missed. If that sounds interesting, then you should definitely consider subscribing and give it a like and post a comment and let me know what game you want to hear about next. Thanks for watching. This is 8-Bit Joystick. Stay awesome. Play retro.